In this video we're reviewing the Space Marine Bladeguard Ancient. Hello and welcome to Planet 40k, I'm Eugenio and today we're talking about the Bladeguard Ancient. We'll have a look at his stat line, special abilities, movement, shooting and combat, discuss his strengths and weaknesses and then give him a rating out of 5. So the Bladeguard Ancient is a character and he's an elite's choice for the Space Marines. He's 85 points or 5 power level. His stat line is he's got a movement of 6, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3+, strength toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. For abilities, he's got the Angels of Death ability, which if you're new to Space Marines is actually an umbrella for 3 abilities. The first one's They Shall Know No Fear, which allows him to re-roll his morale test, which doesn't really apply to him really. The next one's Shock Assault, which gives him +1 attack in any phase in which he makes a charge move, was charged or performed a heroic intervention. And the last one, Bolted Discipline, which isn't really relevant to the Bladeguard Ancient, but I'll put it up if you want to know what it is. So as well as the Angels of Death ability, he's got 2 unique abilities. The first one is an aura called the Astartes banner, so it's the big banner that he's carrying. What it does is it adds 1 to the leadership characteristics of friendly chapter units within 6 inches. And in addition, I'll put it up on the screen and you can read the actual rule, but I'll just give you a summary. It's basically you get, when your model is destroyed, if you're within 6 inches of this guy, excluding vehicle, beast and wolfen models, on a 4+, they can either shoot as if it was their shooting phase with one of their ranged weapons, or make a melee attack, but only 1 melee attack as if it was the fight phase. So this aura is okay. The +1 to unit leadership will help you pass your morale and avoid the combat attrition test. If you have the Bladeguard Ancient next to a chaplain, then that would give the chaplain a leadership of 10, which you can then pass on to units within 6 inches of the chaplain with his spiritual leader's ability. So that might be pretty good if you're going to take them together anyway. We'll have to see how much morale tests affect Space Marines in 9th edition, but I'd say it's a decent aura if you've got units of like 10 Space Marines around him. The second part is allowing you to shoot or fight before you die. It's an okay bonus too. As you only get 1 attack with the melee weapon, I think it would be working better on shooting units. Being able to get 2 shots off with a melter rifle, for instance, on your opponent's turn would be quite annoying for them, especially if you manage to take out a tank or something. I always like doing damage on the opponent's turn. It seems a bit cheeky, so I'm quite fond of that rule. However, you do have to get the 4+ to let it go off, so you can't really bank on it working every time. His second unique ability is Deeds of Heroism. It's an aura which allows you to add 1 to the hit rolls for attacks made by friendly chapter Bladeguard models whilst their unit is within 6 of this model. So basically he's buffing the Bladeguard veterans. So this one has synergy with the Bladeguard veterans. They'll be hitting on 2s instead of 3s. If you're a Spacefall player, this aura is pretty much redundant as you'll be mostly hitting on 2s in combat anyway. But for your Blood Angels players out there, this is gold because it will give them +1 to hit and then they'll have the +1 to wound as well in combat, so that's pretty nasty. So for deployment, you'll want to keep the Bladeguard Ancient near the units you intend to buff with his auras. If you're taking the Bladeguard veterans in an impulsor or a repulsor, you could leave space for the Bladeguard Ancient to travel with them. The impulsor holds 6 Primaris Marines and the repulsor can hold 10. When the Codex comes out, you should be able to take bigger squads of Bladeguard veterans. So you could possibly have a squad of 5 Bladeguard veterans with the Ancient in the impulsor, or 9 Bladeguard veterans with the Ancient in the repulsor. If you want to drop some Bladeguard veterans with the Ancient in from reserves, it will cost you 2 command points. If you want to make more use of the Bladeguard Ancient's Astartes banner, then putting him in the middle of a gun line would probably be a better option for that. For shooting, you've got the option of the heavy bolt pistol or frag and crack grenades. The heavy bolt pistol is range 18, strength 4, -1 AP and 1 damage. It's a decent pistol with good range, however, with only 5 shots in the whole game available, I don't expect you to make your points back with this gun. The frag and crack grenades are a better option if you're in range. The frag grenades I'd use for toughness 3 and below, and the crack for toughness 4 and above. Unfortunately, the Bladeguard Ancient doesn't come with a close combat weapon. You would think with the spike on his banner it would be pretty lethal if he tried to use it, so it's a shame he can't have the banner as a weapon. All he's left with is that little metal hand to slap his enemies away, really, so he's just hitting and wounding like a regular Marine with 4 attacks. Like his shooting, it's pretty underwhelming. For his strengths, one of the main reasons to take the Bladeguard Ancient is to buff the Bladeguard veterans. He gives them +1 to hit, which is pretty good, especially if you're able to take a large squad of them. His Astartes banner is pretty good for gunline armies, in my opinion. The added leadership should help, and allowing units to attack again in shooting and combat on a 4+ is also pretty good. So if you lost a 10-man unit, on average 5 would be able to fight or fire again, which is pretty decent. So for weaknesses, he's only got a pistol and grenades, so he's not going to be doing much in terms of taking down enemy units. I know you're taking him for the auras, but it'd be nice if he had a little something in shooting and combat too. Another problem I can see is, say if you take him with the Bladeguard veterans and you drop them in from reserves and your veterans get taken out, and he's on his own, he's going to be really vulnerable. He's not going to be able to handle himself, and you're going to have to run to the nearest unit you've got to try and keep him alive. It'll probably be an easy kill point. So you've kind of got to protect him. If he's isolated, he's not going to do much. So that's another problem I can see. Or if you've got a couple of squads next to him that are being buffed, if they have to split up for any reason, you have to kind of go with one. So I'm not too impressed with the Bladeguard Ancient, and I'm not really keen on his model either. I think in some lists the Bladeguard Ancient could be good, but I think he's too much of a passenger in terms of damage output, and I'd rather take the Chaplain for the same points. I think if you take him to go with the Bladeguard veterans to lead an assault, you're not making the most out of his banner, and if you keep him back in a gun line, his Deeds of Heroism aura is wasted. So I feel he's kind of stuck in the middle with those two abilities. Both the model and the rules for this guy just kind of make my head spin, but I think he could be okay if you use him well. Overall, I'll give him a Planet 40k rating of 3 out of 5 stars. So do let me know what you think of the Bladeguard Ancient. Have I been too generous or too harsh with him? I'd be interested to know how you would run him in the list, and also get over some of the issues I mentioned. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button to help us promote it. If you'd like to support the channel and see more 40k content from us, please consider subscribing and press the bell notification to be updated whenever we post a video. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next one.